Are animals getting offended? Well, according to PETA, they are.
Once again, JP, you're a fucking liar. JP Sears is a YouTube comedian who's become really well known because of his mocking of Western society, basically. He's covered topics like BLM, the elections, and he's even made videos about veganism, basically taking the piss out of most people on both sides of the arguments on these topics. In his more recent work, his core message has been that the mainstream TV, the mainstream media, the mainstream news, basically everything that you're seeing and coming across online, his message is that most of this is misinformation and it's all designed to make you do what they want you to do, to take money from you, to take power from you, and it's all being controlled by the tech companies. So it's safe to say that he's a person that considers himself to be against misinformation. He's calling out misinformation because he hates misinformation, and he's all about the truth. He's all about the reality. He would never twist information to serve a selfish purpose. Not JP. He would never misinform his audience just for something as pathetic as making money from getting more YouTube views and creating some weird kind of fake outrage in people. He's against that, right? JP would never do that. Well, that's exactly what he just did. PETA recently put out a controversial post, and JP just couldn't resist the temptation to purposefully misinterpret what they were saying to then go ahead and purposefully mislead his audience. He's actually doing the misleading in this case. He tried to get his audience to believe that there are some people out there, namely vegans and animal rights activists, that believe that animals can get offended by human language. Yeah, that's right. For the sake of this video and getting a few thousand views and of course a few $1,000s from his sponsors, JP fabricated a story claiming that that's what people were saying, that animals can get offended by insults that humans use for each other. JP Sears, the man so staunchly against misinformation and the manipulative media, took information, manipulated it, and pushed it out to his viewers for nothing but fame and money.
Are animals getting offended? Well, according to PETA, they are. PETA caused massive controversy across the internet this week as they called on people to stop using speciesist terms as insults, such as calling people a chicken, a rat, a snake, a pig, or a sloth. As PETA says, these terms are offensive to animals and oppresses them.
No, they didn't, JP, you fucking clown. PETA actually tweeted this, explaining how using animals as insults pushes the idea that they are dirty, inferior, deserving of bad treatment, neglect, suffering, and how it continues to support people's shitty justifications for abusing them, for their skin, flesh, milk, eggs, entertainment purposes, and all that horrible, horrible shit that we put them through. Because when we reduce them to nothing but an insult for another human, this is the message we're sending out, that they are worth such little value that the idea of them can be used to insult other people. Think this is sounding a bit crazy? Don't believe me? Western history is full of racist, sexist shit, and with it, a load of racist and sexist insults. Insults that have been used to reduce the worth of certain groups in society, in this case, women and ethnic minorities, while simultaneously insulting the person that they're targeting. Don't be such a girl. You throw like a girl. What are you, some kind of woman? Insults like these do exactly what I've just said. They reduce the value of what it means to be a woman because you're using them as an insult to a man. Comparing a white person to a black person was used as an insult to white people. This kind of disgusting racism served to keep black people at an unequal stance when compared to white people by continuing to put forward the idea that they are less valuable, that they are worth less than white people. And before you come screeching up in the comments, no, humans and non-human animals are not the same. But the methods that have been used to devalue them and justify doing horrible things to them are exactly the same. That is the point that PETA is making. Not once did they say anything about the animals getting offended by insults. That's just JP creating some drama and outrage to get views for his channel, something he claims he's against.
And of course, as the media's main purpose is to create demoralization of society through dismantling truth, we agree with PETA.
The media is demoralizing society by dismantling truth, right? Well, that's interesting, JP. Because ironically, that's what you've just done. Speciesism, by the way, that's how you pronounce it. It isn't this wacky vegan thing that vegans created and only exists in vegan communities or something like that. It's a form of discrimination that is acknowledged and taken seriously by many in the academic world. The way JP is talking is like someone who's just discovered racism exists and is desperately trying to mock it when realizing that they are in fact themselves a racist, which I am sure many people did when scholars and social justice activists started talking about racism many years ago. JP, do you want to be remembered as one of these people in history? Because I don't think you do.
In the infograph posted on Twitter, PETA suggested non-speciest insults to use instead. They called for people to replace the word chicken with coward, rat with snitch, snake with jerk, pig with repulsive, and replace sloth with lazy. This infograph implies that while PETA is against using the names of animals to hurt people, it is not against hurting people, as it supplies an alternative list of insults for you to use to hurt people, because hurting people is still important, right, PETA?
Once again, JP, you're a fucking liar. PETA literally tweeted a reply on the same tweet on the same day at the same time as the original tweet saying this: PETA urges everyone who believes in equality and justice to take a look at their personal beliefs and the language they use and break free of this outdated mindset that denigrates other animals. Always be kind and consider not using insults at all. JP is literally manipulating information to put out misinformation for likes, views, followers, money, power, whatever. The point is that he's a fucking hypocrite. He's doing exactly what he claims he's against. It's a pretty pathetic way to rack up some views, mate. It's desperate, to be honest.
We had our team of researchers take to the dictionaries to find out if the word speciest is actually in there. And it was.
Funny how he just ends that point, kills it dead when he realizes that this part goes against the narrative that he's pushing. The definition of speciesism in the Cambridge Dictionary is the idea that one species, set of animals with the same characteristics that can breed from each other, especially human beings, is more important and should have more rights than another. As I said, it's an academically acknowledged form of discrimination, just like racism, sexism, and other forms of discrimination.
And in ironic news, PETA is issuing their attempt to eliminate animal oppressive language on Twitter, a platform that uses a bird logo to entice people to use it. And it's been discovered that Twitter does not donate any money to birds. We here at this station do not support bird appropriation, and we don't appreciate PETA so willingly using a platform that propagates bird appropriation because it's oppressive to birds.
This is a common tactic you see when someone has zero arguments whatsoever. It's known as an appeal to ridicule. The idea is to get you to laugh at how ridiculous someone's point, someone's argument is, by making an oversimplistic, sarcastic version of their argument that completely misrepresents the logic and rationale behind that argument. Using a silhouette of a bird for Twitter's logo doesn't create any negativity or animosity towards birds, nor does it devalue them. What he's saying here is like saying drawing a picture of a bird or painting a bird makes people want to oppress birds. It's an absurd argument, and JP is a really smart person, so he knows it's an absurd argument. He's doing it because he thinks you're stupid. JP's entire video is an appeal to ridicule, really. By lying and making up this story that PETA says that animals are offended, he understands what PETA's trying to say, but he would rather lie and try and make you laugh at them instead because he understands it, but he thinks that you won't understand it. He thinks you're stupid enough to watch his video, listen to him, and then go and say stupid things about PETA and be misinformed because he values you at that level. He thinks you're that stupid to believe what he's saying here and not use your own brain.
They went on to say there is no biological difference between humans and animals. Welcome to 2021.
Notice how there is no screenshot or source for this claim? Yeah, that's because it didn't fucking happen. JP literally fabricated this point from thin air for some clout for his video. Look, JP, if you end up watching this, I just want to say this is about the most pathetic content I've seen you put out. Advising your audience to avoid misinformation and lies and avoid being manipulated whilst actually putting out misinformation and trying to manipulate them yourself is about the most hypocritical shit I've seen on YouTube. I know times are tough, and you've got a baby right now in the middle of this whole shit show that's going on with the world. I imagine you're doing lots of late nights and early mornings, feeding, changing, and all that stuff. Best of luck with all of that, by the way. I wish you all the best, genuinely. But you can do better than this, mate. Maybe stick to ripping the shit out of CNN and Fox News, and try not to manipulate your audience with shitty misinformation in the future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget, if you really enjoy my work, if you want to contribute to it, get involved by joining the Patreon team. The link is in the pinned comment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.